Hello. I'm back. Well, that's one anyway. Yeah. Willkommen. Thank you. Now, if you can sing it, you get an extra $100. Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Oh, wait a minute, what's the next? Oh, forget it. The important part is willkommen, which is kind of the way we ought to be greeting people, with enthusiasm, with glad to see ya. Willkommen. Words of welcome, which is our theme for today. Though this was our first reading 2 weeks ago, the story that I'm going to share right now, the story fits. The words of Jesus in the gospel reading today. Let's call the fellow Abe. Guy was old. In fact, one day, he was falling asleep in his rocking chair on the front porch, almost fell out of it, when he hears something. 3 guys approach his tent, or was it one? Read Genesis 18. Abe shook himself awake and he surveyed who it might be who has darkened the front door of his tent. Immediately, he got it. And he became very courteous, if not reverent, toward the men. He was not at all cautious or afraid of these strangers. The old man hustled to serve them as much as an old man can hustle. He welcomed them as highly as he could. I know you need some water to drink, for you must be thirsty, and you need to wash your dusty feet. And please, let us feed you. And he asked his wife Sarah to make some bread, and then he told his cook, prepare a meal as fine as he could. Abe knew these were special fellows, and he would do anything he could to welcome them warmly. But both Abraham and Sarah were old. In fact, St. Paul called Abraham as good as dead. I love that. I mean, every time I hear that, I just gotta laugh. So he says, good as dead. What does that make me? You know? I crack up. Now, one of the 3 want to speak to Sarah by herself. She's just as old. And the man told Sarah this, that she was going to have a baby in her old age, and that from this child, an entire nation would be born. Sarah laughed. Would you? And then she denied it. And they dined together and talked. Well, Abe's welcome of these visitors was as enthusiastic as an old man could be. He was deeply eager to please them. Abe's mission was to welcome and serve. I dearly wish Kathy Cobbs, maybe you're out there, Kathy, were here today to help us pronounce a particular French word. Concierge. Say it with me. Concierge. French, eh? It's so smooth, it's so beautiful. Concierge. I love it. Abe was as eager as a young concierge. Do you know what a concierge is? It's not somebody who simply says the best restaurant is down the street. More. His or her expertise is welcoming and kindness to the stranger. We could say that Abe was a concierge for his visitors. And Jesus said, whoever welcomes you welcomes me. And whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. Abe welcomed these visitors as though they were the Almighty. They were. How does it feel, I'm asking you now, when you are really welcomed? Can you think of a time when you were actually welcomed? Is there a time in your brain that you remember that you were welcome? I have been in so many different situations, in church and elsewhere, in which people couldn't or wouldn't be welcoming. Ever been in a place like that? Growing up in a simple family, people at community events would look at each other. Family reunions would look at each other. Then they'd talk to whoever was at their table. Wow, didn't Miriam grow tall? Or, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Boy, I hated that. They wanted to know stuff, but only they wanted to know it. I want to tell you this. Recently, Linda and I attended an 80th birthday party. And we got a note the next day which thanked us for reaching out to the quiet tables in order to get people connected. This is one of my missions, okay? I may say to you, hey, I'm from Beckelsville. Oh, so am I. How long you been in Beckelsville? You know, I can do that. Not everybody can. Not everybody wants to, but still have an interest in people. How does anybody know they're welcome if nobody reaches out to them? What does it feel like to be really welcome? I think it feels warm, doesn't it? Feels like you belong. Like you matter. If someone speaks to you, reaches out to you, it causes feelings of value to well up. I'm important enough to talk to. Woo! In our hymn of the day, Marty Haugen, whom I love dearly as an author, writes that all are welcome in this place. Now, in this place, COHS, that's already pretty palpable. Do you agree or disagree? I just sense, and I think it's the Holy Spirit, I just sense that we are open and that we care. I cannot tell you how many expressions of goodwill people either wrote to me or spoke to me when I was in the throes of the prostate cancer after stuff. People care, and that matters. I think of your faces during the week. Well, honestly. honestly do. I'm comforted by that. I'm strengthened by that. And I think of you, if I know there are issues for you that are very difficult in your life. If anyone leaves here and no one has spoken to them, she needs to know. Because we got changes we got to make. But you know what? In the end, that's not her problem. It's ours. Be open. Just open. All are welcome. I feel the Holy Spirit. A concierge for Christ shows hospitality, and in so doing, offers to others the welcome of God. In our Matthew text for today, Jesus urges us to be concierges for others. This is the church's mission, to do the same in a world where people feel invisible. One of the greatest ministries is simply to notice someone. The newcomer sitting along, the grieving widow, the anxious teenager, the exhausted parent. People often remember less about what you said and more about how they felt when they left you. We offer cups of cold water to others who are thirsty. We are ambassadors for Christ, not fearing the stranger, but welcoming her into a compassionate fold. Might be helpful to ask ourselves 3 questions. Is my heart open to others? Is it really? I mean, we need to be honest with ourselves to see if we're really welcoming. Is my heart open to others? I can remember a guy. I got to tell you this. I'm not going off, Linda. I'm not going out. We were introducing sharing of the peace at the Lutheran Church, and I was always stuck at the end of the line, that is to say, with this crank. Nastiest man I ever met, till he got dementia. Anyway, I went to him and I said, "Peace be with you." He said, "Get that hand out of there." He was so angry, I'm not sure why, but it overwhelmed his life. And then he changed. It was a wonderful change. He was fun to visit eventually, not at first. Is my heart open to others? Do people feel welcomed by my presence? And who might God be calling me to welcome this week? Anybody in here? Anybody in your life? Jesus said, "Whoever welcomes you welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me." Be a concierge for the Lord, welcoming others and seeking to care for them as Jesus cares for us.